here filming live in our brand new Adreno Melbourne megastore. This is the biggest dive store in the world with over 13,000 square feet of gear for spearos, scuba divers, free divers and surfers. We're just about to take you through a tour of the store with Adreno assistant manager and buyer Taylor Slattery. Taylor has come all the way from Brisbane to manage the Melbourne store with Luke Latham as well. He's an experienced spearo. We're going to go through a little bit about his spearfishing background as well and how he's finding Melbourne so far. How's it going, Taylor?
Good, thanks, Carly.
So tell us a bit about your role with Adreno and your history with the company.
So I've been with the company just on 4 years now. I started off packing boxes for the guys. I actually begged for my job when I moved to Brisbane, so I was lucky enough to get a start. Luke was actually ironically the one who hired me, so now I'm working under him as well.
Cool.
Yeah, so I've been here for about 4 years and slowly went through the ranks and got experience from customer service to buying into logistics as well. And so I was lucky enough to get an opportunity to come down here and experience what Melbourne's got to offer in diving and meet some pretty cool people along the way, so it's been awesome.
Awesome, yeah, you've been definitely a key part of Adreno and the company for quite a few years now. How long have you been spearfishing for?
Probably going on 7 years or so.
Yeah.
Maybe 7 or 8 years. So I started. We used to get a full day off during the midweek instead of having study periods. So me and my mates used to just jump in the car, drive down on a Wednesday night.
So was that in high school?
Yeah, high school. Yeah, year 11 and 12. So maybe early actually.
And where were you spearfishing?
We started off on New South Wales North Coast around Mulloway, Woolgoolga. So that was just running around the headlands, chasing bram, Luderick and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough, met a few guys that I'm really good friends with now, and they have the Arnott's down at Mini Waters. And yeah, they took me under their wing and really showed me the ropes. So pretty much from there I went from learning everything about the fish species all the way through to proper techniques in diving. So yeah, had some help along the way, definitely.
So from the mid-north New South Wales coast, where else have you dived or travelled to in the past 7 years?
Yeah, so I've only recently, probably the last year and a half, 2 years, been pretty lucky through Adreno to meet some really cool people who do pretty cool trips. So really been chasing dogtooth off the Coral Sea on a trailer boat. Try to do that every couple of months now. So that's probably what we've really been focusing on. But yeah, travelled from Indonesia, diving there, but more so just in Australia, running up the east coast, just chasing some fish. A
bit of everything. I know you like your shore dives for dewies, your coral sea trips, all over the place.
And this is why I like Melbourne, mate. Just shore dives, nothing better. Like I really enjoy being able to have a camp, wake up in the morning, have a quick dive, and then cook your whatever you catch, cook it on the barbie and have a few beers with the guys around the fire. So
perfect.
That's where it's been perfect down here.
And do you have a favourite spearfishing trip or spearfishing spot that stands out for you?
Yeah, I've got some really good spots back home.
Don't say Spot X?
No, it's Spot X pretty well. But yeah, so my favourite thing is chasing jewfish. So I've been working pretty hard finding spots, and probably the last 2 or 3 years been lucky enough to get onto some pretty good fish and find some spots that are really consistent. So
what's your biggest dewie?
It was just over 20 kilo. So that was actually my first jewfish as well. I was really lucky.
Was it short dive?
Fluked that one. No, that's another story, that one.
And what kind of gear setup are you using at the moment?
I'm a bit of a hybrid at the moment. I'm just come obviously down from Brisbane, so I've gone from 2.5mm suits maximum into 5mm suits. So at the moment I'm wearing the Adreno Pro Skin and the Bochet Roxy. When one's wet, I'll just change to the other. So running with that. I've been getting into my hand spearing a bit, so I really started to work hand spearing from the Sea Stinger and Headhunter range, and also the Gorilla Sling from Headhunter. Just trying to mix things up a bit.
Do you have any of those at the Melbourne store?
We've got the Predator Pole Spears by Headhunter. We've got them here,
cool.
And also the Gorilla Sling too. So yeah, we've got them here.
And how are you finding? I know you mentioned that you like Melbourne diving. It's shore dives and things. You've been on a couple of dives. How's it been in Melbourne?
Oh, it's only been a month, so it's between here and there. It's been pretty hard to get a dive in, but yeah, 2 days ago I went on a shore dive and got there at 7 o'clock. The sun only just gets up at 7:30, so you get up, sun just starts to rise, and just the landscape down here is half the thing about diving. I think is the landscape you get to dive in, is the things you get to see. So yeah, down on the peninsula down here is a pretty amazing spot. Cold, but yeah, it's pretty breathtaking.
What's the water temp at the moment?
It was about 14 degrees the other day. So from going from 24 degrees about a month ago to 14 degrees, it's been a bit of a scare.
So what thickness wetsuit, socks and gloves do you wear here then?
So I'm only wearing 2.5mm gloves. So I'm wearing the Ocean Hunter Strike gloves at the moment. They've got that Kevlar and sealed seam, so minimal water gets in, so your hands, they're still pretty frozen by the end of it, but you can deal with it. Well, they're just toasty warm. That's been my biggest thing. On the first dive, I wore 2mm Adreno socks, and yeah, just down here, I just wasn't prepared. It's just too cold for me.
Yeah. And for people wanting to get into spearfishing around Melbourne or anywhere else, have you got any tips? Obviously, you've been doing it for a little while. What would you recommend for people wanting to get into it?
Probably, I was pretty lucky when I first came. One of the guys who hired Mitch, and yeah, they invited me down to the Southern Freedivers club meeting. So I got to meet some really cool guys there. Obviously, the guys who work with me hired, also really cool. So I was pretty lucky to meet some people. So really, probably the biggest thing is to try and, if you're able to get to a club meeting, is try and pop along and introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then trying to find like-minded people who, they want to be obviously responsible about the sport, and you'll learn a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Awesome. So let's go for a bit of a walk through the store. Can you show us what's around?
So at the moment we've got, obviously, this is the prizes giveaway for tomorrow.
Just some of them?
Yeah. Just
$25,000 of giveaways tomorrow?
Yeah, I think something like that. So yeah, we've been pretty lucky with some suppliers really getting behind us and really giving us the opportunity to get some good prizes. So there's plenty of them there tomorrow. And then pretty well we just start walking through. Just pretty much got this little racetrack that goes around the whole straight. And yeah, you start off with your mask. So this is our full mask range.
What mask are you using at the moment, Tyler?
I'm using the Adreno Carlo.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, it's probably the best low volume mask for my face that actually is the only one that fits my big old nose. So yeah, that's what I'm using at the moment. And then just the same thing, the Adreno snorkel, just really nice standard J-bend snorkel, so it's been perfect for me. And then we come through with with obviously one of our major people that we really proud ourselves upon is our importing and bow shape. So this is pretty much our reflection of what we think is their best gear. So we've really put that on show in this corner.
So you've got the carbon fins and your Roxy wetsuits. What gun out of the Bochet range would you recommend for Melbourne diving?
Down here I found that really just need a short gun, and having probably Bochet Marlin grommet. So it's just has the option of the closed muzzle or open muzzle, so you can do whichever you prefer. Has a stainless steel mechanism with sear pin, and double rubber muzzle too in 14mm, so the Marlin grommet. So yeah, it's nice, short and punchy, easy to track through the water. Yeah, so it's a really good gun, especially for down here.
And you've got the 5mm Bochet wetsuit yourself, the Roxy camo.
Toasty. Yeah, definitely toasty. So yeah, definitely having the open cell inside that suit really works well. And
it's a little bit grippy, and you've got to lube it up a bit.
So as you can see, you have your nylon lining on the outside. So that's just for durability, and then you have your open cell interior. So it's nice and sticky. You've got to lube up to get into it, but yeah, I never believed in it until I moved in here, but open cell it's a must down here.
In the colder weather, do you fill up a bottle of warm water for that lube?
Oh, so actually I didn't the first time, but I came up with a good one. So we I just filled up a bottle of water the night before, and then I just put it in my engine bay and drove an hour and a half, and by the time I got there it was pretty warm, so I was pretty lucky, so I lubed up. And it was a little bit warm, so it was good.
Awesome.
But yeah, so this is pretty much just our Bochet range through here, featuring, as I said, probably what I think to be the best gear, the Bochet range in different categories.
And someone's just asked how many stores we own. So Scooter, we own 3 stores. We've got stores in Brisbane, Melbourne and Sydney. They're the biggest dive stores in the world individually. So as a whole, we're the biggest dive supplier in the world. We also have 3 online websites. So we've got e-commerce stores in spearfishing.com.au, scubadiving.com.au and wetsuitwarehouse.com.au. So thanks for that question, Scooter. Will has also asked, how many types of guns do we have, and what's the best type of gun for Queensland and the price?
Queensland, yeah,
Brisbane.
Okay. So I probably actually couldn't tell you off the top of my head how many guns we have.
Heaps.
As you'll see in a minute, we've got plenty. So what I really look for in a gun is purely, if you're looking for something that's going to last you a long time, you always look for something with a stainless steel mechanism. So if you get into a shop, anyone nearby, they're going to know the gear. And that purely means if you have a stainless steel sear pin, so that's what locks into your shaft, it's not going to, like plastic, it's not going to become brittle and break. So it's less chance of misfiring, so it's safer, it's going to last a lot longer too.
So stainless steel trigger
mechanism and trigger mechanism. So that's what I find. And then it really depends on the style of diving you're doing. For reef fish up there, I was using a Rife 120, pretty much anything. Anything from mangrove jack in the reefs to wahoo out wide. So again, it's pretty hard to find a gun for everything, but a Rife 120 for me was what my go-to gun.
And what's the price on Rife 120s?
They're around that $570 to $600 mark. Yeah. So they are quite up there, but for me, they're an awesome gun. Very minimal recoil, good range. Yeah, I went from missing a lot of fish with my old gun, and now I've shot a few fish, so I'm pretty happy.
Awesome. And Jordan Pearson has just asked about the Rife Infernos.
Rife Inferno?
Yeah, I think they're a new one, but I think a lot of the Rifes are all pretty standard across the range, very similar. But he's basically Rob Allen Inferno.
Yeah, so Rob Allen Inferno, that's pretty well, it's pretty well the Rob Allen Sperrit. So the biggest differences between those two, just from memory.
Why don't we head over and have a look at the Rob Allens?
Sure.
Yeah.
So just from memory, the difference really between our range and the Inferno is really the colour of the rubber. So yeah, we've got pretty much a full wall of Rob Allen down here. You start with your Rife guns. We've got our Sea Sniper blue water cannon there, so that's about $4,500.
$4,500 gun.
Yeah.
That's some pretty crazy graphics on there. And so for Gold Coast spearfishing, Rob Allen Sparrows and Infernos, are they a pretty good gun?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they're a very well built gun. They have a stainless mechanism inside them. Depending on which one you go for, they have different styles for them. So I would recommend. I really like the Sperrit off the shelf. It's really good. It has the semi-closed muzzle, so we can go and look at it if you like.
Yeah, sure.
So this is our Rob Allen wall, and this is the Sperrit 1200.
Yeah.
So again, they come with a stainless steel, spring steel shaft, in the 7mm thickness. So I find that's all I use is a 7mm shaft. I find you get good penetration through your fish, and they work perfect. And yeah, they come with the semi-closed muzzle, so quite easy to look down. And they have the option to have that double rubber. Straight off the shelf, you'll be able to shoot fish with that, definitely.
Yeah.
Changing that and putting another rubber on that one will get you a bit more power and a bit more range.
Awesome.
But yeah, really, it comes with single wrap. As long as you're accurate and you have enough power for that single wrap, you'll be able to shoot fish, definitely. Awesome,
cool. So yeah, Rob Allen's, they're one of our best-selling guns. Would be the Rob Allen range, and then second, really, the Bechet Marlin Oceano, I'd say, would be our second top-selling gun. We've got a couple of guys here, Chris and Daniel, have both asked what size our wetsuits go up to. The bigger blokes like them want to know. Yeah.
Sure, we got pretty much in different, obviously it depends on each different suit, but we have suits going up to 3XL. So most people we can usually get into.
Yeah.
If we haven't got it in stock, we'll be able to get it in stock, definitely.
And affordable as well. So I think probably the Adreno Pro Skin, I think they got up to 2XL, and they're...
I think they're 2XL, and off the top of my head, they're around that $300 mark.
$300, yeah.
Again, depending on your thickness that you go for
yeah.
sure.
Awesome. And Ben Farmer has asked, what's the #1 accessory you'd never go for a dive without, Taylor?
Oh. Down here, I'm using at the moment, it's just a little drop weight on my belt. So I purely use it, I attach my float line to it. And chasing crays down here is, it's helped me a lot.
That's funny, Paul Rosso in the Snapper talk we did at the Sydney store last week, he also highly recommended the drop weights so that when you're hunting some of those flighty fish, you can drop your float away and still be safe.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, I've just found in that little bit deeper, in a little bit worse fizz, there's some spots where we're diving in 3 metre viz. So finding that exact hole, because obviously they're pretty patchy. I just have this clipped onto my belt at all times. I'd be diving with it. I wasn't using a gun, so I just had my float line and my float connected to this. And then once I found a fish, I found a crack, I dropped that, mark it pretty well, sit on the surface, breathe up, and I knew exactly where to dive. And by doing that, I increased my breath level, and I felt, yeah, I knew exactly where I was going to be, so I didn't waste any time trying to find it again.
Cool, great accessory to have.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Down here,
yeah,
that's been perfect.
Now I've got another spear gun question.
Okay.
Jesse's asked the best gun for a rookie, so maybe something around the $200 mark? Or,
$200 mark, yeah, for sure. What I've been, again, it does depend.
Yeah.
But I think the best bulletproof gun that we've got in around that 200 mark is probably going to be in the Picasso range.
Mm-hmm. And Picasso is another brand that we import.
Yeah, we do.
Where's that from? Is it Italy?
They're made in Portugal.
Portugal.
Yeah, so Carl Slattery is the manufacturer over there. So we've got these guys. These are $249. So for your beginner gun, they are that little bit pricier. But yeah, again, they have a stainless sear pin.
Yeah.
And dual rubber muzzle, open muzzle as well. And yeah, so I found they've been a really good gun for us. And especially for those people just starting to get into it and just want a nice, pretty much bulletproof gun.
And they're camo, are they? What are they called?
So they are
Cobra Rail.
Cobra Rail, so that's, and then they've got the one in the brown camo. It actually comes with twin 14mm bands, and then we've got our range in the green camo that has dual 16mm bands. So again, depends on your diving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Jack Kruger.
What's Jack on? What's he said?
Jack Kruger wants to know your best spear for penetrating a Wong's thick skin. A Wong, for everyone watching, is a moe, bit of a joke among spearos. They're an very elusive fish.
Oh, look, they are elusive. Pretty hard to find, especially down here. But look, I have chased them down here. I'm yet to shoot one Jack, unfortunately. So I can't really give you too many tips on that one. Up north, but a good probably 9.5mm shaft from right's probably the way to go.
Who's someone who's good to talk to about shooting Wongs?
Probably Casey Harrison. Look, he's been in the game for a fair while now. Yeah, look, I'd probably give Casey Harrison a call, or even add him on Facebook. He's probably the best way to go, for sure. He's shot a few good ones in his time.
Cool, thanks Taylor. So let's continue on our tour on the shop.
Yeah, so obviously you can come through here. We've got all our wetsuit range. So anyone who's pretty much from Melbourne who's going to do any travelling, we've got anything from 1.5mm suits, lycra skins, all the way through to 5mm. And we do have some 7mm spear suits coming as well, so for those people like me, yeah, for sure.
And Habib has asked how much our RA tuners are.
Yeah.
Are they $450 or are they a bit?
They're $449.95. I think that's our everyday low price at the moment. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously you come through here, go through to our shaft and our float wall range. So pretty much any fish you want in the chase, anywhere from your dusky moongs all the way through to tuna. We've got anything just about here.
So raft bungees, all your different floats. What's a good float for around Melbourne?
Around Melbourne, I'm just using the Adreno bullet float. Usually the one with flag. I go for one so it has a ballast inside it on the bottom, so it'll ride better in the water. And yeah, having that flag, there's a fair bit of boat traffic down here along your headlands and inside the bay, so having that flags, yeah, it's really, really a must.
A must have for anywhere you're diving.
Pretty well, definitely.
Best overall 5mm wetsuit. I guess we've got a couple of, we've got the Bechet Roxy that you use.
Yes,
and
that's what I'm using that at the moment.
Yeah.
I can't fault that suit.
Yeah.
I've had a problem. I've had it for about 12 months now, and yeah, no tears or anything, so that's been really well.
Yeah.
But everyone has good feedback on Rob Allen's suits. Most of the suits we stock here, they're going to be, yeah, pretty good.
And someone's new to spearfishing. They've got an Oma 100 and they need a new rubber. Do we stock them and how much?
Yeah, for sure. So we stock rubbers, pre-made rubbers anywhere from $19.95 straight off the shelf, or we can make them depending on the rubber you want to go for. I'd probably just recommend a standard 16mm band on that one would be good, and it tops at $39.
Yeah. So thanks for that question, Jack. Yeah, so you can buy them online at spearfishing.com.au, or if you're in Brisbane, Sydney or Melbourne, you can pop into one of our stores. Jordan, Pearson is asking what rollerhead gun is best to start with?
Depending, I wouldn't recommend rollers for people just getting into it. I think it's they're a fine art. They're pretty much, you change anything on them from shaft length to thickness. You really got to really work on your rigging. But off the shelf, the aim right is probably up there with one of the best. Off the shelf, you'll be able to go shoot just about any fish you want. Yeah, from reef fish all the way up to your dogtooth, tuna and things like that.
Cool. Jesse's asked about bags, but Jesse, we might get back to that soon when we're over the other side of the shop with some bags.
We've got plenty of those.
Cool. All right, so let's continue on to the fins wall.
Yeah, so this is go through into our freediving fins. So they're all closed till long bladed fins.
And why are freediving fins long, Taylor?
Well, that's a good question. I find just like having them, especially having them longer and softer, they're a little bit easier on your calves, especially if you're doing deeper dives. So scuba divers have really short, powerful fins, and obviously they're sucking in their whole dive.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really affect how stiff or how they just can really kick all day.
Yeah.
Whereas with when you get a set of long-bladed fins, you can get them bending quite well, so you can get that ripple effect, and they'll end up working half their kicking pretty well kicking themselves.
So you conserve more oxygen, dive a little bit longer.
Definitely. Yeah, I found that it's really good after a big day having those longer fins, and once you start getting that ripple effect working, you'll burn less energy, and you'll get less lactic acid build up through your legs.
Yeah,
after
awesome.
a big day. That's my biggest thing.
Let's go check out these dive owl fins.
Yeah. So Ray's sent us down a fair few fins, so we've been able to fill the wall with them.
We did a live video in the diver factory just last week. If anyone wants to go and watch it, the replay's on our wall. Ray takes you through all of his fins range. Yeah, pretty cool. And the dog stopper floats.
Yes, that's our dog stopper, or diver's dog stopper.
Yeah. Cool. Alrighty.
Yeah. So we go through pretty much all of our rigging accessories, anywhere from crimps, crimping pliers, mono, anything you need to do to rig your gun. Yeah, we've got it stocked in here.
And this is like a rigging station at the Melbourne store?
Yeah, so this is our rigging station at the moment. All of our rubber, different range, and so this is pretty much where all the guys, if anyone brings their gun in, yeah, we'll be rigging it up here.
Cool. And obviously got a bit of scuba gear happening over here. Can you show us the bags? Because Jesse's just wondering if we've got bags, gear bags and gun bags.
Yeah, for sure. So you can see pretty well down the end there. That's a bit of our range. We're still working on this wall at the moment. Yeah, still working on it night before the show we open. But yeah, so this is pretty much most of our range really, of our gun bags.
And you can, I guess you can fit more than one gun in those though, can't you?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So I've got, I've seen 4 or 5 guns stacked into most of these.
I've actually got one of these decline bags, and I fit all of my dive gear in it. I've fit a few guns, my fins, my wetsuit.
Yeah, well, I'm stocking I'm using the Decline wheeled roller bag.
Yep.
And so for my trips, just got back from Florida last month, and my trip to Indo, I took all my dive gear, weights, everything, guns, and had my clothes in the separate pockets, and that's all. I didn't even need a backpack. So
wow, you said one bag and took it all to Indo.
Yeah, so running between boats, like at Indo, running between plane trips, boats, everything like that. Having those wheels are pretty handy.
Yeah, awesome, cool.
Yeah, so that's all I just stock in our gun bags, and then we go through. This is all of our gear bags. So anywhere through your dry gear bags, just to your standard travel bags. Yeah, we've got a pretty big range here.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jesse, if you're looking for a bag, you can shop online at spearfishing.com.au. We've got stores in Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne, so pop in and see the guys otherwise.
Definitely.
And then we've got all our scuba gear. Let's go for a quick walk up there.
Yep. Yeah, so as you can see, we've pretty much put a big emphasis on really showing off our range. Obviously it's a big part of scuba diving, having proper gear. So we've really worked on and tried making it available that all the customers can come in and feel, touch every single product that we stock. Computers and our scuba computers over there as well.
Cool, awesome.
Definitely.
Let's take them for a quick look upstairs.
Yeah, for sure. So we've got Wetsuit Warehouse down here. That's pretty much our neoprene.
What's Wetsuit Warehouse?
So it's our technical neoprene section of our business. So anywhere through from surfing, scuba, spear, like we stock a fair bit. So yeah, come on.
Open in Melbourne, we're open until 9 PM on Thursday and Friday
Yeah,
nights.
Thursday and Friday nights for me, unfortunately. But yeah, so it's pretty good.
9 AM to 9 PM.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, this is pretty much split this room in half. We've got scuba on this side, anywhere from your thermals all the way through to dry suits around the side. So yeah, if you feel the cold, there's pretty much we can put you in.
Hi, Tanya.
Sure.
Hey! Can't believe we missed out tomorrow. Hello.
So we've got the team up here tonight working on the all-important show bags. Hey, Clark and Marcel.
Gift bags, baby. Come and get them. Come and get them. 150.
So we've got 150 gift bags that we're giving away at the store opening tomorrow. They're valued at $150 each. Actually, there's a bit more than 150 bucks value in them. It's pretty. First 150 in line, we give you a little ticket, and then once you've made your purchase, you get your gift bag. We've got heats happening tomorrow, so that's $25,000 of giveaways. You go in the draw every time you purchase. You get 10 tickets to put against a bunch of different gear. We've got a free sausage sizzle. We've got a $1,000 shopping spree happening to give away to one person before, if you lined up before 8:45 AM. Heaps of stuff happening, so thanks heaps for your time, Taylor, and yeah, I'm sure everyone will see you tomorrow at the
We'll see you then.
Melbourne grand opening.